Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. Really glad you could join me here today. You know, I live here in Pennsylvania, Zone 6. It's now October 31st. You know, the fall season is upon us. We've had a few light frosts. And so today I thought we would go harvest some of my Gypsy Broccoli. So thanks for joining me today. So you may have noticed I've changed scenery here a little bit. I own 10 acres here in Pennsylvania, and I'm down at the very end of my property here where I have some creek frontage. In fact, you can see my camera blind back there if you've ever watched any of my nature videos. But anyhow, you know, I planted that Gypsy Broccoli back in like the second week of August. I planted some transplants that I ended up getting from Ray's greenhouse over there in Telford, PA. And so the broccoli plants have been growing and thriving underneath my low tunnel hoop house that I cover with a spun bonded polyester. And so, you know, harvest time is always an exciting time for gardeners. And so I'm really looking forward to going up there at the vegetable garden and harvesting some of this Gypsy Broccoli. And you know, the Gypsy Broccoli is a heat-tolerant variety. It takes 58 days to mature, and they're nice, well-domed heads. You know, so, and my wife and I just love our broccoli here at our house. And so why don't you follow me along, and we'll go harvest some of this tasty and delicious Gypsy Broccoli. Well, that certainly is some good exercise walking up from the creek, but you know, it was like 39 degrees this morning here, and so it warms me right up. So right behind me here is where I have my low tunnel hoop house. You know, this hoop house is 4 feet wide and 15 feet long, and I plant my broccoli here in the same spot year after year. In fact, I also plant my tomatoes and peppers there in the same spot year after year. I do very little crop rotation here, but I do add a fresh layer of my composted leaf mulch that's amended with topsoil. I add a 2 to 3 inch layer over all my garden beds. But anyhow, under my row cover here, I have 18 of these broccoli plants, and they've just been growing and thriving underneath this row cover, being protected by those harmful garden pests. In fact, I haven't even taken off this row cover since the second week of August, but I'm really looking forward to harvesting a couple of these heads. And so I'm going to go ahead and take off this row cover. So why don't we take a closer look at some of this beautiful broccoli. How's Bailey doing today? You joining me out in the vegetable garden? You're a good boy. You can see how these leaves really don't have any holes in them because they've been thriving underneath this low tunnel hoop house. So I have here in my hand, it's called a Sierra saw. It's an old folding camp saw that I like to use for cutting broccoli because it's got a lot of nice teeth here on the bottom and it can really saw through those broccoli plants. You know, they're like tree trunks here. You know, if you have good, healthy, fertile, loose soil, your plants are going to grow nice, healthy, and strong. And so, you know, I also added some of my alfalfa pellets to my soil when I planted these broccoli plants, because it's a nice slow release fertilizer. It also adds organic matter to the soil. And so, you know, another nice thing about harvesting broccoli is once you cut the heads off the plant, you know, it's going to develop side shoots for the next month or something like that, you know. And so what I want to do is let's cut 2 of these broccoli plants. So I'm going to cut this one right here. And you can see it's just a nice, beautiful looking broccoli plant. And then this, so it's going to develop some side shoots right in here over the next couple months. And this plant here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this one up, pull the whole thing up so I can show you how nice and healthy it is with the leaves and everything. I'll just pull out the whole plant and let's go take a closer look at this. And so I don't normally pull the whole plant out because I do like the side shoots to grow, but you know, we can just take a closer look at this plant. Again, you can see that these leaves, they really don't have many holes in them, and or these don't have any holes. There are a few along the soil that have some holes. It looks like maybe some slugs got in there and ate them, but you know, you can take a look at the root system here. It's really just a lot of fibrous roots. It's really not that large of a root system for this big of a plant, but you know, if you have good healthy soil, this is what you should expect to have in your garden, is a nice good sized broccoli plant like this. And you know, again, one of my favorite things to do in the garden is just to take in my vegetables and just eat them fresh from the plant. This is the one thing I like to do when I get the side shoots growing later on, but I just love coming out here and eating the vegetables right from the garden. It's like my backyard grocery store. And you know, another nice thing about these broccoli plants is that you can eat the leaves. You know, the leaves are similar to collard greens. In fact, you can eat the whole plant, the stalk, the stems, and everything. I actually did a video a while back on that talks about eating 10 reasons why you can eat your broccoli leaves, but you can eat these leaves even while they're young, you know, and they're growing until they reach maturity. You can just pick like 1 leaf from each plant once in a while. But yeah, I just love these leaves. Again, they're very tasty. You can put them in your smoothies, or you can stir fry them or steam them in your in fact, I also did a video on how you can steam, how you can use or cook these broccoli heads in your Instapot pressure cooker. And so it's a really helpful video on how you can cook your broccoli. But anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today out here in the vegetable garden harvesting these tasty and delicious gypsy broccoli plants. And if you have any questions or comments about this video, feel free to leave them in the section below. And you can also visit us at plantsmartliving.com. And there you can learn more about gardening and also how you can reclaim your health by adopting a whole food, plant-based, vegan lifestyle. Well, anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today out here in the vegetable garden, and I hope you have a wonderful day. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.